any of the goofiness that usually comes with Mono Blue Tron. Just good cards. My opponent's playing 61 cards in their deck, which I believe I'm supposed to infer is Titan, right? So not a bad hand on the play against Titan. Thoughts on Winter Night Stories and Nethergoyf? I definitely would like to play those two things together. Okay, so 61 card energy. Let's try not to get turn 2 Blood Moon, I guess. I want to play a Steel Cutter Basim tonight. I want to build that. I don't know exactly what Winter Night Stories Nethergoyf looks like, but I could take a look at it. I do have our backup deck is actually a Nethergoyf deck. If you are a Nethergoyf fan. Okay, so what would we like to do here? Karn Bridge doesn't seem great since it doesn't stop any of their creatures from attacking. So I kind of like just K command, see what the best modes are, but there's a pretty good chance I just want to make spawns and like chump block the Ragavan this turn. Perfect. Just didn't want them to target the Ragavan, so I could afford to scry draw and like look for an Ugin maybe. So we don't find Ugin. We do find Portent, but we can't really make good use of the Portent with the whole no blue mana situation. Could keep the tower. I think I'm going to just bottom all of these. So I'm taking 5 down to 13. Kind of hoping they like cast Galvanic Discharge and I can just force it, and that keeps my nice, perfect hand size low enough that I can go Karn Bridge. Ulamog, huh? So right now I have 11 mana. I could have 11 mana again if I Expedition Map for a tower. If I go Karn Bridge, then all of the 1 power creatures can still get in, which isn't exactly ideal. If I did cast Ulamog, I would have to target probably the Ajani and the Guide of Souls. And then I would have 1 spawn left, and then this hits me. I can block here, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that puts me to 4, which is not dead to a Flage. Versus Karn Bridge, which allows them to attack with Guide, Ocelot Pride, Cat, or this one too. I guess it's not. Also this Cat. The problem is map for Labyrinth. Ooh. Okay, take that line. We are dead to Goblin Bombardment, and so it's possible that the Ulamog line is better to play around Bombardment, but I think I'm just gonna not play around it and then maybe Needle it next turn. Or are we killing a Johnny? Are we dead to the Bombardment either way? I guess we are dead to Bombardment either way. So this is the line. Dead to Static Prison either way. No, Static Prison wouldn't kill me if I went for the Ulamog line. If I Ulamog next turn, I'd probably just go after the lands, right? Is Boros back to being a 20% deck presence in the meta? I think it is on Goldfish. Like, my actual play experience, it's not that high. Also, like, gameplay against Boros is like, I don't know. It's not as nearly as bad as it used to be. Like our Sultai Unearthed deck is like pretty good against Boros because we're playing Graveyard Trespasser. It's like just such a different dynamic than it used to be when Ring and Raptor and Giganta were legal. Do you think experimental synthesizer is good enough for modern? Well, people, we've had positive records with synthesizer, but I do kind of think that Ugin's Labyrinth synthesizer builds of Affinity are maybe underexplored. Uh-oh. Not dead to this though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hits me for 10 damage. Johnny's so dumb. What if they go after Karn instead? They go after me, so I'm down to 3. So, okay, I draw an Urza's Tower, which is kind of nice. So now I have 13 mana after I put this Ulamog into my hand. So it seems like just going exile, exile, get Needle is the best line. This plays around Flage. What if getting Coating is better, actually? Probably not. Because then Galvanic Discharge unlocks this. Not that they could cast that super soon, probably. Nacatl Pariah. Nacatl Avenger? Okay. Glad I double checked. Should kill Karn. Well, I think that maybe the reason my opponent didn't kill Karn is because they have a Flage in their hand. That would be my guess. Also, we're in like pretty bad shape if we just draw a blue card. Okay, so there, now we can get Island. Although Force of Negation is still going to be pretty bad for me. Lrien Revealed is fine. Good game. Okay, your turn. Okay, Ugin is nice. Although there's a little bit of tension here, maybe. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go Stonebraid on Static Prison here. And then I'm just going to make mana so I avoid drawing the Force of Negation. I'm going to be going after their 1 toughness, their 1/1 creatures, so this way... Yeah, now we're in a spot where they just are not going to be able to kill me with the 1/1s. Oh no, the Guide of Souls, never mind. Okay, so Static Prison. So they did have their Flage in their hand. Their hand is pretty bad at the moment. Only 2 Static Prisons in the main. 2 Thraben Charms. Composer with the 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. With Beseiju in the format and you play Lrien Revealed, why didn't you include a Surveil land? Well, Lrien Revealed for Surveil land's bad. Like, I don't want to do that. It's like it's almost never correct to do that. That is such a slow line where it's like a double tap land. And to me, I don't think that's enough of a reason to play it, even with the consideration of Beseiju being in the format. But it's something to talk about. All right, that was good enough for them. I'm going to not mess with the consigns this time. Good question, though, about the Surveil land. Just Lrien Revealed for Surveil land's so slow. Will playing Otawara be consideration? It's kind of tough, because, like, in my mind, I'm playing 4 lab, 4 of each Tron land, 3 islands, so I can have 3 things to Lrien Revealed for, and also, like, be better against Beseiju and Wildfire, that kind of stuff. I'm playing these 23 before I'm playing the first Otawara. So maybe Otawara would be the 24th land, but like we also have 4 expedition maps and we have 4 talismans. So that's like 31 mana sources in the deck. So I think I'd just rather not play the 32nd. And like maybe I would play a Blast Zone instead as like the utility land. When do you side in artifacts? When do you need them faster than Karn can get them? Like Crypt versus Graveyard decks? Yeah, so like Crypt versus Graveyard decks can happen if you feel like Soulless Jailer is also a really good thing to get. So like the key is to make sure that your Karns are still good. The key is to make sure your Karns are still good when you draw them, and also that while you still bring in your Karn targets. So that's kind of what you want. I'm actually going to keep this. I know this is a little bit weird, but I think these really high upside hands on the draw against Boros, you just want to keep, where if we could just get lucky and get Tron, this is great, and we have an answer to Blood Moon, and we have the K command if our hand's a bit slower. But yeah, I want to keep the high upside hands in this matchup. Frenzo with the 46 months, how has Labyrinth felt? I mean, it's Ugin's Labyrinth. That card is nuts. it's that card's still Ugin's Labyrinth. Okay, bad against Voice of Victory, of course. Oh, yeah, but time to find out if I am a real Tron player or not. I think some amounts of 8-mana Ugin might be good. What's funny is I built this deck with 8-mana Ugin before 7-mana Ugin was out. And I was playing with it off stream, and I'm like, I'm going to wait till 7-mana Ugin is legal to play it. And then, I don't know why it took me so long to get to this build. I guess I kind of got distracted by everything else. But 8-mana Ugin's just so out of date. But I agree, you could have one in the 75 maybe. Cycling K command there. Yeah, maybe that was correct. Just go to game 3. Get to be a little bit more aggressive with their mulligans of the play, although this is going away no matter what. Beautiful hand. Don't F6 with Force in my hand, smiley face. Well, my opponent had Voice of Victory in play, which means I can't cast spells on their turn. So to me, it felt like the F6 was pretty safe. Boosted with the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. How important is being on the play of Modern right now? Does it significantly affect win rate? It's very important right now. It is maybe not the most important it's ever been, but it's very important at the moment. This allows them to charm all next turn. Nah, you can still play activated abilities. Okay, I didn't have activated abilities. When has play draw been least important in Modern history? I'd say post MH2. Like, kind of like for, like, when, I don't know exactly when in MH2, but for like a long time, like when like Solitude and Fury were really popular. Maybe pre-Lurrus ban, post MH2, like play draw just didn't matter as much because you like between Force and Solitude and Fury, you had just so many ways to catch up on the draw. Creativity meta, yeah, some creativity, like post MH2 creativity meta maybe. I do think for me, my favorite time in Modern's history was post Lurrus ban, pre Lord of the Rings Modern. That was my favorite era. Blood Moon. Johnny, okay. But Grief Scam on the play wasn't almost unbeatable. Yeah, well, this the thing is, like, people think about this era, but Grief Scam was like mostly like pre Lurrus ban. Lurrus was better than Grief Scam. And then it still wasn't a very popular deck until they got access to Bowmaster, and then Ring was a thing. Like Grief Scam was around, but it just wasn't as big a part of the format until they banned Lurrus. What do they make spawns here so if they play Charmal, I could still like cast an Ugin. So I could keep just Island Portent. I think I want to do that instead of Lrien Revealing, because I think just portenting for as much as possible is what's important here. But I will draw the Portent now so that if they white Orchid Phantom, I don't need to keep the island. Let's Portent for memes, please. I mean, I feel like beyond memes, it's just the like definite line. Oh, you know what? I forgot I was blocking with the spawn token, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just gonna cycle, and then I can draw. I can just have the island now, and I can draw maybe something better. So not really any different materially. I spoke with the 62 months. Welcome back. Couldn't find something punny or funny that relates to 62, just 62. Well, thank you for the 62. Funny, punny, or not. Now we're stacking 3 different types on top for Portent. Well, I mean, when those 3 different types aren't anything super exciting to cast, I don't think it's that worth it. And if I keep Tron, we're going to hit those types. If I don't keep Tron, we're still going to go X equals 6, which is pretty likely to hit. But yeah, I do think it's more important to like try to be hitting like Ugin, Ulamog, Karn, instead of just hitting like a Nulldrifter here. Portent of Calamity is a card now. I mean, it's been around for a long time. I think I might have been the first person to try it out. But yeah, you get to draw a lot of cards and sometimes cast something for free. To fine tune my question, I just thought you have a small hit of amounts of hits for Labyrinth, considering you have 4 maps, you could potentially flex the number of Labyrinths. I guess we have 9 imprintables. I think that's a fine number. You could play like 1 more and be like a bit more closer to the norm, but I feel like yeah, 9 is fine. I kind of felt like they had the chant. Yeah, I don't know if I could beat the chant here, unfortunately. So this is our second time in a row playing Boros. We won game 1 both times, and then got kind of dog walked by the sideboard cards both times. See, maybe we can sneak this out. We still have some chump blockers with the spawn tokens and stuff. Kind of scary that their turn took this long, too. Okay, I'm going to block this 2-1 for sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So down to 6. I think I will also try to block and sack here. So off the Ragavan, they reveal an Urza's Power Plant. So thank you, Ragavan. And we're dead. Assuming they try to flip the Johnny. Bummer. I think I'm going to keep this with K Command Force on the draw. My opponent's on a mold of 6 also. Last seen today playing Is It Prowess. So I think I'd keep that against that too. Skip their draw step. Mold of 6, Wooded Foothills. I'm not going to force a preordain, so just F6. It's a good draw. So we really want them to be playing a Steel Cutter here, so we can just kind of stonewall them here. Are y'all ever forcing this preordain? They had land Steel Cutter, they would have played it, so I think I'm going to force this and try to slow them down. Some amount of the time, they also have kept a 1-lander here, right? Okay, interesting. They keep a card on top. Okay, it looks like they did keep the 1-lander. So they'll play a land next turn, probably. Down to 18 life. A tower or a mine would be awesome. But we'll take that. In these kind of spots, you want to tutor up a Urza's Mine so that if we draw another map, we can go play it, crack it, then we can K command X equals 1. Okay, I guess they kept this on top. They keep another top after the Surveil, so they'll play a land. Not quite Delirious yet. Down to 16. They called it a mine. I'm going to go Scry Draw, looking for a blue card for Force. Also, we have the K command for next turn. We can also find Tower. Any land. Keep the blue card. The best blue card ever made. Alright, there's a Scalding Tarn. Unfortunately, this is a show-off and not a steel cutter, I guess. They only have one card in their hand, and typically prowess creatures are a little bit worse with only one card in hand. That one card is Mutagenic Growth. So if I let this resolve, I'm taking 5. If I let this resolve, I'm taking 7 down to 9. I think I'll let it resolve, like saving, like maybe I want to cast Stock Up this turn, although probably not. Interesting. It's like I really want to have Tron next turn. I really want to be able to K command this. I think I am casting the Stock Up. And a Tower would let me K command X equals 1 anyways, which is what we find, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to take the Tower. And then I don't know what other card we're going to take. It actually, I think, is just Expedition Map, so I could exile 2 things with Ugin next turn. And we shouldn't really be able to die here with Force and K command up. Stuck up! They keep a card on top. Okay, so we're going to force this. K command this with Spear, Scry Draw. Take 3 from the show off, but then we go Ugin, gain 3. Thought for a moment about keeping the K command, but don't think that really makes any sense. Alright, so I'm down to 6. Good chance that we're just actually going to want to... Yeah, we'll just play the map and get another tower, probably. Is Ugin still busted? Ugin's very strong, but Ugin, I don't think fits very well into exactly the very stock versions of Eldrazi. Okay, drawing the mind, and I'm going to just draw a card first. Yeah, I don't think it fits super well into like super stock Eldrazi, but I think it's better in like the Dice Factory build we've been playing, this build. The Turbo Eldrazi deck, the Aetherworks Marvel deck. I think in all those builds, Ugin is better. Can also Ugin 0 for Karn. I think it's better to gain life here and like threaten the ultimate. We could. You know, Underworld Breach isn't in the format anymore, so like Prowess just doesn't have this like crazy game-winning top deck. Fleshraker Tron's great with Ugin. I do think Fleshraker Tron is a good build of it, which is again also not stock Eldrazi. I will say I do think that I like the Dice Factory build more than the Tron build, where like when you like to play Labyrinth, to play Urza Saga, to play Eldrazi Temple, to play your Tron lands, to play Expedition Map, it's a lot of mana sources, and it's a lot of the mana sources also to play Chalice and Core Tapper and the rest of the Dice Factory package. But you get to play Mox Opal, and you get to have a mana package that is not disruptible via land destruction, and you get to play a package of cards that's really better with Glaring Fleshraker, and your Mystic Forges get to be much better too. So those are my reasons for, and also your Ugins, like you get to just exile more stuff more often. So that's my reason for liking the package, because it ends up being about the same amount of cards. Would you say Wrath Disguise is a design mistake? Yeah, I would say that. Hold on, let me think about this hand. I think I just can't really mulligan K command Force on the draw against Prowess. Love to draw an imprintable. So the thing about Wrath Disguise is like when Wrath Disguise is popular, like it just is an archetype killer. And I don't like cards that are archetype killers. I don't like like Wrath is a modern staple right now. I cannot play my affinity deck. I cannot play my cookbook deck. I can like these are. It's just there's not a way to like hedge against it. There's not a way to build your deck in a fashion that you can be good against this strategy. You just lose basically. So you know, whenever I feel like there's just a card like that, that's what I would describe as a archetype killer. I'm critical of it. Urza Saga was the mistake that forced Wrath to be created, which sucks. I guess I would probably push back on that point where like Urza Saga has plenty of cards that blow it out. There are plenty of ways to be great against Urza Saga. This has been, I'd say, really true for the entirety of the time Saga's been legal. I don't know. I feel like Saga is a very good card, but what I actually really like about Urza Saga is it's really powerful, but it also like is really easy to sideboard it against and blow it out. I think that dynamic is really important where like if you want to be good at Urza Saga is really powerful, but if you want to be really good against it, you can be. What's the idea behind one Ulamog? Well, I wanted at least 9 in printables. I thought that was the best one. Also gives you like a game win button off Portent you can dig for. Would a non-land errata Wrath make okay? Maybe. But yeah, I guess I actually just love Urza Saga. I think the card is just good for the game. What's interesting is if they choose Ugin's Labyrinth here, it stops me from being able to K-Command. Saga and Footfalls where the cards target with Wrath, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I mean, I just think Wrath is just too efficient. To summarize, I guess. They do choose the name Urza's Tower, which is valid. I know this is kind of slow, but I think we need to K-Command for a little bit more here. So I'm gonna try to set up to exile this, K-Command make spawns, and then try to cast the Ugin and stabilize. Some people look at Saga's too efficient. Yeah, I think that's a fine stance to have. I just personally I think I just love Urza Saga existing. I know it's a card a lot of people hate, but I think gameplay and deck building is all good with Urza Saga. I think it makes gameplay more interesting and deck building more interesting, but that might be kind of a controversial stance to have. I understand if you're on the other side. So we're dead to a Lava Dart, but they did keep a card on the top. They see Tamio 5-color control deck. The top 8 both challenges Saturday. I did not see this. Oh, yeah, sorry. The Omnath style strategy, although it's actually not playing Omnath, despite being 4-color. I mean, this is just Omnathless Omnath. Look, Omnath is literally the picture here, but it's not in the deck. That's so funny. Okay, they got Mutagenic Growth Lightning Bolt. This should be very lethal. Yeah, very lethal. Game 3. As a control mage, Wrath was a godsend because Saga was annoying as shit. What? That's fine. Again, if you like Wrath Disguise, that's fine. I just think it's too polarizing of a card. Well, got K-Command forcing although this hand's on the play, and we've got Tron out, so we're going to click this keep button for sure. I love having Prowess be a tier 1 deck. It's so cool. Obviously, we also would have loved to have this map in our opening hand, but we can't really complain since we probably get to go K-Command, X=3 next turn. Love the Faithless Stories deck. Any changes after the Chally? I'm not sure. Like, the matches were really close and they didn't go our way. I probably wouldn't change a lot if I was going to change anything. Oh, they have too many 0 mana spells here. Right now this is 5 damage. A growth is worth 5 more damage. All right, no more. I wonder, actually, I guess I should probably, I'm thinking like how much do I want to play around with Spell Pierce? I probably just want to main phase the K command because then like Consign becomes a lot worse anyways. Gonna make spawns, which is a real power play when when you already have Tron in play. Although kind of the main reasons is to chump the Swift Spear here. Maybe if they have Alpine Moon, this is better too. Been grinding stories like a bit. Get wrecked by Leyline, avoid one, so there's 0 answers for. Yeah, I know Leyline isn't like answerable, but Leyline's also pretty uncommon. If you want to answer it, Teferi Time Raveler is probably the best. You could play Celestial Purge in the board too. 1 top, 1 bottom. What if they have Monstrous Rage? Well, it's usually Violent Urge as the combat trick instead. Yeah, 1 Emrakul, 1 Wear Tear seems fine too. I guess I'm going to look for an Ugin off the stock up first. Could Portent also. I think just casting the Nulldrifter is a bit safer. Well, there's K commands. We got to take those, I guess. They have a Consign. Maybe this is a little bit worse. They want to keep the spawns. What were they thinking with this card? This card's so silly. Don't think I want another one of those. Do want one of those. Dude, stock up with a double K command is so nice. I can even go Ugin with Force of Negation up, although if they have a Consign, we just can't win the fight. Just gonna give you gain in life here. Opponent, I don't know what they have. Pump spells, Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt. Got 10th in my first RCQ ever this weekend out of 40 with prowess. Awesome. Glad you like the stream. I do think this is a great time to get into Modern, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. You know, Modern's got some ups and downs, but it's definitely been ups since Dragonstorm. 1 card on top, 1 card on the bottom. I really want to fire off a big Portent, but I'd rather just keep the Force of Negation up. I think now is the best Modern has been. I'd say even since pre-Lord of the Rings. I think pre-Lord of the Rings, post-Image 2 is better than now. But I think now is better than even when the unbans happened. It's just so good right now. I guess why do I need to deal with the Steel Cutter? Get that extra point of toughness in front of the monk token, I guess. Lightning Bolt Ugin is so painful, but I respect my opponent for trying it. I'm going to Force of Negation this. So they mutagenic growth. This will allow them to trample over my Nulldrifter, to trample over my spawn token, and deal my Ugin 1 damage, getting it all the way down to 10 loyalty. And they misassigned damage, so I can ultimate the Ugin. Not that they're going to win that game anyways, but... We're on the draw against a Kihira. Kihira sometimes meant Belcher, but now that the Scion is playing, or now they're playing Scion, it's just always control. We did get bodied pretty bad by the Omnath deck earlier. Surprisingly. If I do end up forcing like a Teferi or a Narset, oh. Well, I was going to say I would just pitch the Lrien Revealed and try to draw a land off Nulldrifter. Now it's like a lot less clear. Because, okay, well, thankfully my opponent just didn't play anything. What about repeal in the ascendancy list? I've been kind of meaning to test it out off stream if I feel like it's optimal over iteration. It's just not something I've had the time to test, but I'll say that it looks like it's probably it looks pretty good. I definitely believe that it's playable in the build and it offers some like pretty interesting lines, but iteration has just also been really good for me. I think you kind of just play one or the other, or maybe you could do a split. But I just haven't got around to testing it. They graveyard a counterspell. 5 mana, so we're going to play a Teferi hero, and we're going to force it because we can't Ugin it, I guess. Now I'm going to be 1 mana short of playing a 7 full value 7 drop unless I drew an expedition map or a tower, which I did not do, but happy enough to just X equals 4. Maybe we can find like Karn plus tower. Karn plus tower, and even a nice Ulamog to go with it. Although I'm going to have to wait a turn on the Ulamog if I cast... Oh, yeah. So that bottomed the tower, the map, right? I might have misclicked there. I don't think I did. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab Coating. We have enough action. We don't need to worry if they like kill the Karn with the binding here. All right, these Orm's chants are really gilding my goose here. On May 10th, they're adding Pioneer cards to Arena. Nice. I mean, I really want full Pioneer to be on Arena. I feel like it would be so nice for the game. Like, Modern on Arena, like... I think it would be just really nice if all of the Magic players playing online were playing on the same clients. I think that this would be a big net positive for the game we play. So I draw Ulamog. I think I'm just going to go... There are lands here. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Ugin before they Orm's chanting combat somehow. Certainly don't mind very much with the counterspell. To be fair, the Moto Client is shit compared to Arena. I don't know. Like, yeah, yes, but it's a little reductive too. Like there are like a lot of advantages Magic Online has over Arena. Like it is genuinely much better at resolving complicated turns. It's genuinely much better economy wise. It has better tournament structure. Like Arena somehow like is worse at hosting tournaments, like, which is still ridiculous to me that that's the case. Yeah, it's a lot easier to see what's on the board. So I don't know. It's not exactly the case, but I do think Arena looks a lot more modern and inviting. And it just would be nice if, like, we had a client that just had the best of both worlds. Like, we've got two clients and they're both good at doing different things. Like, you just would think that we could have one that can do both. Okay, well, I want to play some spells. Orm's Chant in response to Ugin's ultimate is pretty funny. I think I'm going to stone... Okay, well... Interesting concession. But yeah, Moto not being on mobile, I think, is a problem too. I mean, that's part of the quirks of playing a 30-year-old card game with tens of thousands of cards. Or have we hit? Has Magic hit 100,000 unique cards yet? Probably not yet. But probably not too far away. But there's going to be some quirks. Another 61 card deck. That's so weird. Not even close. I thought last time I looked, I thought we were at like 60,000. Maybe I'm just misremembering completely. How many unique Magic cards are there? Oh, 27,000. Okay, I was way off. Yeah, I thought there were a lot more than that. Way off. Although we'll definitely, if it took 30 years to get 27,000 cards, I imagine it'll take much less time to get to that 100K. Although I guess this is just AI. This is AI from 2024, so that's not even accurate. Kind of does stink that like this AI stuff does not work. Okay, the chance is basically a blank card here. Yeah, we do have Warhammer 40K, so yeah, add 40K there, huh? Bottom that. Do unsets count? I think you should count unsets for like unique Magic cards, yeah. I know it's a little weird too. But I mean, unsets are by nature a little weird, I guess. So they have another Orm's Chant in their hand. Oh, they're solituding my token. Do I want to like Pithing Needle Narset or something? Kinda. Yeah, kinda. I'll needle Misty if they don't crack the fetch. You can just go to Scryfall, search unique card names. They'll have 6 gotcha. Well, there's a little bit more to it too. Like there have been plenty of times where I've intentionally not cracked my fetch land, hoping my opponent names it with Pithing Needle. Like we don't know that that's what's happened here. Yeah, we don't know that that's what's happened here, but like I'm not gonna give them the credit of the doubt, thinking that they just have 6. When like they could have Narset in their hand, and you would just like not crack Misty Rainforest so that your opponent doesn't name Narset. Like I've taken that line a few times. Like they might actually just be casting Narset right now. No. That does seem like they're F6 now. Good top deck. Good top deck. They did yield EOT. We saw the pause. So how do you know? How do you know it's they did yield EOT though? We saw the pause. I guess I'm confused what this is saying. How do you know if your opponent's yielded through the turn versus end of turn? Good mulligan this. The pause was kind of long, so a strong suggestion they were playing Cracking Misty. Yeah, I guess so. Is what it is. Okay, I think on the draw, on the mulligan, let's click the keep button. Probably. Yeah, I guess we put back the Talisman, because once we get to 2 mana, we want to just crack the map. Snow-covered mountain. I would love for this to be Scred red. All right, Minor Tower, please. Opponent sees what we draw first. I'll take it. Worse than just an island, though, because we can't crack our map to have K command available next turn. Although kind of better if we draw Minor Tower next turn so we can know what to turn to up. Okay, opponent is cooking. Artist Talent, Corey Steelcutter, Oval Chase Daredevil. Very nice. We did the Artist Talent, Oval Chase Daredevil thing once. I wasn't that impressed with it, but I don't think we once had a turn like this. Karsten with the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Ankle less broken. Let's go. Good luck on your recovery. Yeah, the Artist Talent is like literally +4 cards this turn. I've never, we played like maybe one league. We never had a turn like this, but cool. Probably a fine matchup. They seem pretty cold to Karn. Give them an F6 and go use the restroom. You guys can see how many cards they draw. It doesn't look that bad, I guess. As I see a Galvanic Blast in the yard. I draw an Ugin's Labyrinth, so I can go... I guess we'll go Scry Draw, exile the Construct, and get hit. We could have made a Spawn and exile the Asmo too, but I just don't think exiling the Asmo matters that much. Did I misclick? I feel like the text looks weird. Okay, so we did draw the Ugin, which lets me go Lab, Imprint Ugin, and then I can K command the Asmo, but I might as well do that maybe if they like equip the Shadow Spear. All right, so go into combat, so we can go ahead and I think just exile this Scry Draw. Keep that life total a bit higher. K command should not be able to target colorless creatures. I kind of like that take, although it's probably hard to fit that on the text, on the box. So they play another Asmo, they equip the Shadow Spear. 5 cards in their hand, and not doing as much with the Artist Talent this time around, huh? Yeah, I think we'll just go Talisman into Karn. I feel like I just want to plus with the Karn though. Yeah. What do I want to plus on? Probably the welding jar. I don't think targeting the Shadow Spear makes much sense. Still hitting this for 4. Maybe go Karn Needle Urza Saga was better. Then we lose the Karn to the attack. But if they have like a Galvanic Blast, we lose Karn anyways. They do have a Galvanic Blast. Kind of absorbs 8 damage. Yeah, I don't know if this was worse or better. I do know that this is a lot of damage. I have explosives, right? Oh no, I didn't come with explosives today. All right, so this might be a problem. So I'm at 13. Yeah, maybe we should just grab the bridge. Oh, I can draw land and bridge still. Oh, they played Monument instead. So maybe they have a Lava Spur Boots. Or possibly dead. They would need to have a Galvanic Blast and another Bolt to kill me, although there's the Galvanic Blast. Yeah, they played the the Mako Monument deck with Artist Talent effectively. Those look pretty good. It's actually pretty bad for them to play snow-covered islands because people or mountains because people will sometimes board and break the ice against them. Although that's such a small thing. Are we dead to Cookbook? Well, they can only discard once on their turn, so I'm gonna take 3 on their turn, but this only triggers. They can only deal 3 once on the turn cycle. So let's see if we get Urza's Tower. I think that's going to be a prerequisite for me to want to continue to play this game. Although we did hit it. So there's Urza's Tower. I guess we'll take Portent over the other 3 Nulldrifters. Now, as far as stabilizing with Karn, it seems a little bit tough. Because I will just die to any non-creature spell. So I guess I'm just going to try to cast Ulamog here. And get rid of Asmo and get rid of the Monument and still probably not be in great shape. We are dead also them defining another Bolt or another Blast. They've already used 4. I guess Ugin technically means we're not dead. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're only not dead if my opponent doesn't find a burn spell and if they don't have Lava Spur Boots, but both those things could be true. No, what happened? Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, we're probably dead anyways, but I'm not really sure how the turn got past there. I don't think I yielded through turn. It's a little weird. Okay, so I think I'm going to bring in the Consigns and cut the Portents. I have 600 Portent. I thought I like tabbed over it, and then maybe I just did click and I didn't think I clicked. Were we dead on our... Oh, yeah, we were dead on our upkeep. Never mind. Yeah, Ugin only exiles colored permanents. Well, I was in Karn Bridge Line. We were dead to the Artist Talent casting any non-creature spell to loot and trigger the Monument. I think they might have had looting in the yard too, but I might be misremembering. Okay, let's keep this. We'll lead on the island. Maybe counter a cookbook. I might want to imprint a Nulldrifter next turn, so at the risk of not being able to replicate Consign, which seems kind of unlikely. Let's do this. Talent does not buff Monument though. Artist Talent discards, which triggers Monument. So I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, but I know that that's true. Well, I guess replicating would be relevant against this, huh? Okay, keep that in mind. I guess I'm gonna stop it from getting a prowess token, I suppose. So if I go make 3 spawns, yeah, I can do that and still cast Ugin next turn if I feel like that's the best thing to do with my mana. I've been unimpressed with Ugin in this particular meta just because it feels like so often the threat zone XR colorless. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Also, like, Prowess has been really popular, and Prowess is just kind of good against these decks, and I do think it's interesting to see, like, if the metagame gets big evolutions, does Ugin all of a sudden become really impressive? I kind of don't think it will be. Copy Corey Steelcutter. Why is my opponent so based? How are they this based? I don't understand. I think I am gonna scry draw here. I definitely wanted this other Ugin. It doesn't look like I can afford. Well, hold on. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I can keep Consign up. Nice. The black white blink deck has tanked in play. Have I considered a different Ketchermos approach? Did you try a catcher control deck? We have played Ketchermos control, and we've had some success there. I have a new, like, pretty different take on Ketchermos though. Funny enough, it was tentatively the 3rd backup deck today after the challenge and this one, and I think we're gonna start with it tomorrow. So stay tuned. I've been thinking kind of the same thing that, there's ways you could rethink the Ketchermos archetype and have success still with it. Hip hip, hooray! Thank you for the 19 months. Is there anything off the saga I really care about? Not really. Yeah, I've seen the Esper Catcher and Murktide decks. They're pretty nice. Any consideration for killing Opal instead of minusing? Well, minusing lets me kill one of the prowess tokens, which seems way better. Also, like, Karn statically turns off the Opal. That card. It's kind of fun that the static ability is still around. I might be consigning the Monk Prowess trigger. But not right now. Okay, so they got 3 cards here. Can we ask for the list? Well, you'll get it tomorrow. I gotta keep y'all waiting a little bit, maybe. Guess I just want to be able to draw land in Cityscape Level, the Needle. Maybe this was a bit aggressive. I don't know what this, like, 2 mana pause is here. Magus of the Moon. Also fun. Just packing it in. Game 3, such a weird match so far. Not keeping this, I guess. They're on a mold of 6. We're joining them with a keep. I'm gonna put back the the mine. Hello, I've never played Magic before. I want to try it. Well, welcome. Is this different from MTG Arena? Yeah, this is Magic Online, MTGO. The difference between Arena and Magic Online mostly is that on this client you can play the older formats like Modern, Legacy, Vintage. This is where it's Modern we're playing now, which is my favorite format. And generally I recommend trying the format that you think is the coolest, which is certainly subjective. This is the one I think is the coolest. There's better tournament series on Magic Online than Arena. Arena you can play on mobile, which is a bit easier too, or more convenient for some players. Maybe is a bit of a better way to say that. I'm sure some helpful chatters can tell you some more similarities and differences too. Okay, they might have Consign, so I think I am going to go ahead and go Scrydraw, Exile. And I would like to find a blue card so I can maybe counter a Monument. Although if I play Karn, it might turn off the Monument if they're only on Cookbook right now as the enabler. Let's keep that. That'll let me get Tron. Yeah, Arena's got a free tutorial. And some people play a mix of both, but in general, it's kind of hard to maintain like much of a collection on like both clients at the same time. I come from Hearthstone. I have 0 clue if the game translates at all. Yeah, there are some similarities. I haven't played Hearthstone in a long time, though. Don't want to try to grab the Oval Chase, too? No, I'd much rather Scrydraw than exile the Oval Chase. They might name Expedition Map. They do name Expedition Map. So I guess what we're going to do now is we're going to play the Power Plant and then go Karn plus on the Expedition map, sacrificing it to the Construct effectively. This is bad if they have a burn spell, but I think this is a good thing to go for. And then maybe I could get a bridge down next turn. Now that I've untapped with Force of Negation up, feeling somewhat comfy. Okay, I don't care a lot about the Magus. So let's get the Ensnaring Bridge in play. I think I'm also going to get an island in play now. Shouldn't really change a lot, though. So this is really good for us that they're doing this main phase 1, because now I get to force the Galvanic Blast, and then I only have 1 card in hand, so they can't attack with the Magus. But they have a Bolt to shrink the Karn, so I can't tutor something else next turn, but I can still keep it around. This is kind of a fun draw, but I think just because I really want to get at least 1 more minus on the card, I'm going to wait on casting this, so I only have 1 card in my hand for the bridge. Interesting. So let's start off with the stock up. Okay, and then I think I'm just going to take Talisman Lab. Talisman, particularly nice because it can make 1 more of those and I can cast a K command that I draw. But if I can keep the Karn around against the Cookbook Opal deck, I will. There's a Steel Cutter. If they can play another spell, it becomes a 2/2, so they still can't attack through the bridge. Okay, I draw a Lrien Revealed. So let's go ahead and cycle that, and then just hardcast the Nulldrifter, and if that makes it to where they can attack with their Magus, we have the blocker, so maybe that's okay. 3 cards in their hand. Artist Talent. Not popping off quite like it did game 1, I guess. So I think this is a little bit weird, of course, but as I've been saying about this whole match. You know what? I'm actually just going to Skysovereign the Magus. I was going to... Or I was thinking that I was going to get Cityscape level and start attacking, but I think I'd like to wait a little bit till I'm a little bit more stable to do that. And then let's not do anything else here. Another copy of Artist Talent. They get to discard a card, draw a card. I probably will try to exile the Daredevil with the K command to stop the card advantage from this. Thankfully, I killed the foods. So they put another copy of Cookbook into their hand. Do they have a land? No land. Very interesting game. It's maybe possible that it's better for me to make spawns and try to Ulamog. Although if I can just find a tower, I can Ulamog. There's a tower. And there's a Stock Up, the best card in Modern. So do I have enough mana to... Yeah, I don't have enough mana to go Ulamog, Karn, and Coating. So I think we'll just go Ulamog this turn. Exile. And then I'm going to go plus on the Skysovereign so I have more blockers, because they actually do have a decent amount of attackers. I guess I could stock up too. And then my... I guess I'll just go take just the K command and not any of these other lands. Wait, I have to take a card. Right. Okay, dude, we found Stock Up's downside. You have to take 2 cards. Okay, well... They can attack with their stuff. I don't think that's going to be that big a deal. Okay, so now they can't attack with the Construct. This is maybe overkill or underkill. That's okay. Just gonna keep them off of any mana at all. And it's gonna be hard to play this game without mana. I guess I'm also gonna play a Drifty. And leave up double colorless to K command a token. Or get down to 2 cards in their hand so they can't attack. And then next turn we can dig for an Ugin, cast an Ugin, wipe their board, keep killing their lands, and eventually we'll Cityscape level our own bridge and kill them. So we probably find a stock up, or sorry, a Ugin off the stock up. Since we bottomed a lot of non-Ugin cards, although we did not this time. So we'll just have to find one off the K command. Why not play maps after Nulldrifter's attack? We should have. This game is pretty over for whatever that's worth. It just may take like 20 minutes to end it. Alright, so bottom. Keeping 4 seems kind of nice. I need to not spend much time on this, though. Top. Bottom. Top. Spike BMing? What am I BMing? They can concede at any time. Oh, I forgot to minus my Karn. Alright, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Okay, opponent's on a mull to 6. On the draw against the Swift Spear is kind of tough, but we got a pretty good hand. Would feel way more comfy on the play. Yeah, we tried Artist Talent in a kind of similar build for a few matches. I think this might have been before the Monument builds. I can't really remember. It's been too long. Don't I hate Blue Tron? I kind of hate how Blue Tron is built more than I hate it as an entity. Like I just kind of dislike how much they refuse to play good cards in their deck. Also, I somehow just always lose to it, but I've decided to join them today. Because they have 2 cards left, you're going down to 11, so pretty high chance we can go like Talisman into stock up looking for Ugin or YOLOing this Portent to stabilize. Yeah, I do think I'm just going to play Island to take 1 less damage. Right now I have... Oh, I guess I don't have enough to Ugin next turn. So we'll take K-Command Tower or K-Command Portent. I don't think this game is going to revolve around Tron since we have no Tron lands in play. So we'll probably end up going next turn, assuming that we're alive, which is pretty critical. Exiling one of these, making spawns, chumping, and then untapping and playing a gigantic one of these. Am I dead to a Lava Dart? A Lava Dart... I think a Lava Dart puts me to 1 exactly right now. Yeah, I go to 9 and then 1. Dead to a few combinations of things. But they do only have 3 cards. Violent Urge is lethal. Exactly. Violent Urge is really, really good in their deck. Alright. If we had won the die roll, we'd probably win that game. Shocker. For a second, I thought that they also weren't sideboarding. Oh, okay, they sideboarded really fast. I love to play against a fast player. This hand is a snap keep for me. Let's see if they keep 7. Goodbye, Ulamog. See you soon. Maybe just turn 3 hardcast Nulldrifter. We can still hardcast Nulldrifter if that's what we want to do next turn. I'm going to main phase this so that I can make extra spawns and so that I don't get got by Consign. And then I just have as much available to me as I want, including the option to just turn 4 Ulamog, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I guess 1 short. So Steel Cutter, no bobble. So we'll just play the Nully, I guess. And then set up to get Tron, maybe with the maps and cast the Ulamog if we don't draw anything better. Alright, that's nothing better so far. Five cards in their hand. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. I'm in a lot of danger with the tank bobble. Especially as the bobble just like sacks the Nulldrifter. I guess I'm blocking and trading for a token and a card in their hand. Trading for a card in their hand is really nice because it maybe means they can't Steel Cutter. Although Lava Dart is kind of the worst case scenario. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, I guess I probably should have left this up, but we're going to want to leave the... We're going to want to leave the map in our hands so that we could maybe exile something with it next turn. Assuming we get a next turn. I'm just gonna check my phone and hope that I'm still in this game when I look up. Okay, still in the game? Oh, maybe not. So we're at 15 minus 6 plus 7, 6 plus 6. It's 12. So any spell beyond this lava dart kills me. Including this as just 1 mana +1/+0 for strike. Okay. 6 and 4 with stock up Tron. Another way you could play Ugin, another Force of Negation deck. I'm kind of loving the Prowess metagame. I think it's really cool. I've got kind of a new take on Ketcheros I'm pretty excited about, which will probably lead on tomorrow. I'm going to work on Grixis Steelcutter Basim also.